Let's play a little clip. I listened to this earlier. I wanna play it for you guys. It's from a Patreon, so I want you guys to subscribe to his Patreon in full. I'm only gonna play a little bit of this clip. This is from Tim Dillon's Patreon. I recommend you check it out. I think it's worth the money. $5 per month, similar to mine. No, mine's $1 per month. Tim Dillon's is $5. Mine's $1. Keep that in mind. Mine is $1. Tim Dillon is $5. But it's a really good Patreon, I think, especially because he sits down with Ray Kump. I think that you get the best of Tim Dillon. In my humble opinion, you get the best of Tim Dillon with Ray Kump. Tim Dillon is kind of like... No, Ray Kump is kind of like Ben Avery to Tim Dillon. Which makes sense because when Ben Avery and Tim had that falling out, which then led to Lemon Party, and, you know, I think everyone landed on their feet, to be honest, because I think Tim Avery is now doing comedy, I've read. His podcast, Lemon Party, people rave about it. I know Uche actually is the one who's always talking really highly of that show, but I see people always say they fucking love Lemon Party. So I think everyone landed on their feet. But I do remember when that fallout was happening, Ray Kump was very rude, very mean, very, very mean, and bitchy and cunty towards Ben Avery. So it made sense because at that time I didn't really understand why, but it made sense because Ray Kump probably always wanted to be Ben Avery to Tim Dillon, but Tim had Ben Avery at the time. So now that Ben Avery's gone, you know, Ray Kump is that guy now. He's kind of like, you know, the permanent co-host on the Tim Dillon podcast, especially on Patreon. But I feel like you get a better version of Tim with Ray Kump next to him. They bounce off each other really, really well. Anyway, long story less long. On this episode, which is episode number 297, bonus episode, they sat down and had a really long conversation. And towards the end of the pod, I really enjoyed their observations and understanding of Donald Trump. I think Tim and Ray Kump do a really good job of trying to, like, I won't say intellectualize, but they do a really good job of making sense of the madness that is President Trump, his presidency, MAGA, the things happening in politics in general. And although I don't agree with all of their observations, although Tim Dillon can be a little bit of a fence sitter at times, although he can be a little bit of a fatalist at times, I do like their observations. I do like where they come from. So this is them talking quite open-endedly about the appeal of Donald Trump and, you know, what it means for American politics, what it means for American society, how it kind of maybe is a mirror to our society as a whole worldwide. I really think you'll get a kick out of this. So it's bonus episode number 297. I recommend you check out his Patreon anyway. Subscribe to his Patreon. It's worth the fucking money. Tim Dillon, I think it's patreon.com/Tim Dillon. Check it out. But this is a clip where they talk a little bit about Donald Trump.
It's not what it is.
Close. Yeah. Look, I never thought we were going to get the people necessarily.
Right, of course.
I'm not optimistic.
No.
But I mean, don't shit my mouth and tell me it's Sunday. Whatever that expression is.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not that one. That's not what it is.
It's close.
Yeah.
But it's just but like don't. It's
don't
the
shit in my mouth and tell me it's Sunday.
I don't remember every single
Craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
The point
doesn't matter. Everything's fine.
The point is, like, no, but it's like it's the insult to injury.
Yes.
And it's the indignity they want. Like, it's not enough to, like, go, hey, we know you did some shit. It's the indignity that we as the people have to kind of go, we're always like, we have to co-sign it.
Yeah.
By kind of pretending we believe you. That's what's expected now.
Yeah, it's an ultimate insult.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I think it's the final phase before the complete and total, like, I think, takeover by technology.
Yeah. No, this is a precursor to, like, so we're gonna do robots.
Right. No.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. No, this is the last human thing before we all just go, listen.
Stop clinging to life.
You know, like, I think we do feel like we're in the end of the human thing.
If they tried to turn a switch to, like, because I've always speculated, just based on pessimism, that, like, the rich were you kind of wonder, why do they keep us around like herd animals sometimes? Right. And it's like, well, they need us until the robots are able to be their slaves.
That's right.
And you go, well, if you flipped the switch 30 years ago, I feel like people would, like, you know, rattle the cages and go, no, we're going to cling to life. This is important. And they kind of want to just gradually kind of like gaslight happen.
People down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go, This deaths really seem worse.
Yeah.
That's what they want you to know. It's just like, it's all the same, right? Just go to sleep.
There's just something very funny about the idea of like nothing makes any sense.
Right.
And really, it all just leads you to believe that you go, yeah, just let AI do it.
Yeah.
Let some, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Right.
This feels like the very demoralizing, beginning of like people, their hope is that people just accept the technocracy and kind of roll over. Trump's completely seemingly owned by the tech people. I think that he's,
amongst other people, yeah.
Yeah, amongst others as well. Yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, it does seem to be like this is just happening and he doesn't care. He'll go to Dubai. If he's alive, he'll just go to Dubai.
I would love...
Everyone's going to Dubai.
I would love to see the world through his eyes for a second at this point. At this point, what's...
Well, go on, Ethan. AZ baby, how would you go about fighting each person for TFATK? I wouldn't fight anybody, man. I wouldn't fight any of them. We need more love. We need less fighting. We need more love, less fighting. If anything, I'd convince them to laugh at themselves a bit more. That's what I would do. I'd convince every person on that show to laugh at themselves a bit more. So they'd have segments on the show where they might sort through the top posts on the Reddit per week, right? They go on the Reddit and sort it by top post per week every time they record the show and laugh at the memes, laugh at the trolling, whatever it may be. I think that'd be really funny. It might inject some humor back into shows. Because a lot of these comedy shows, weirdly enough, a good example of it is Mark Normand. A good example is Tuesdays with Stories with Joe List and Mark Normand. If you watch that show, or if you listen to that show regularly, you'd know that Mark and Joe List they're very funny, obviously. Probably one of the funniest comedy podcasts out there because they don't really get into politics. But they're very thin-skinned. Like whenever they talk about an interaction they had with a fan or with a stranger that involves somebody saying something back to them as somewhat critical, they get very nervous. They're clearly very emotional and sensitive. It's really bizarre. And they get very put off by it. Like it kind of throws them for a loop. But they're unable to basically laugh at themselves, for lack of a better term. Especially when there's strangers talking to them, like regular people. When it's comedians, they don't really seem to mind. But I think a lot of comedy podcasts would get a lot out of them. We'd get a lot out of them as fans. And I think these guys would enjoy the shows a bit more if they could laugh at themselves and not take themselves so seriously. Not think it's like, oh, you're trying to... Because I think nowadays, even with my streams, even though I try to have fun, I feel like a lot of the content is a bit like mean-spirited. Like, big up my guy Unique, right? Big up my guy Unique. But someone like a Unique, for instance, I think even he would admit, Unique kind of gives me the impression that he kind of wants to see Brendan and them guys suffer. Like, he wants to see them out on the streets. Which I understand why, because Brendan put some shit on his name. He called him some things that he probably isn't and stuff. So I get his personal vendetta. But I'm not in it for that. I don't want to see these guys homeless. I don't want to see these guys desolate. I don't want to see these guys divorced. I just point and laugh at the dumb things that they say. And point out their hypocrisies. Point out when they're being pieces of shit. Point out when they're being bullies. Because it's the internet. What the fuck? But I feel like nowadays, because those guys can't laugh at themselves too seriously, if you do point and laugh at them, it kind of feels like you are in a way bullying them. It kind of comes across a little bit more mean-spirited. It kind of comes across a little bit more confrontational. Kind of comes across a bit more aggro. And I don't want that. So if I could do anything, I wouldn't fight them. I would try to encourage them to laugh at themselves because life is not that serious. These guys are making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars doing some boring dog shit content. They should be laughing all the way to the bank. They shouldn't be taking themselves so seriously. That's what I would say.
Driving him. It's just like he's kind of a mystery. As open as he is, I mean, he's hiding.
Sure,
but like he is still kind of a mystery. Like,
I think he understands raw power.
Yeah,
I think he knows that's what a lot of life is. I think he has a very Hobbesian view of humanity.
Would you phrase it that way?
Yeah, I don't know if he would, but. I think it's somewhat dark. It's somewhat very rooted in nature.
Yeah,
actually, I
Primal,
think he, believes very, very strongly in the strong survive and dominate, and the weak perish. And there's clips of him many, many years ago being like, "I don't really do his imitation good, but it's some form of like, we all play the game, and some people don't play it well, and, well, they can't play it well because if everyone played it well, it wouldn't, be the game. And like some people just get. So I think he sees it very much like that. It's a game. Right. And there's people playing it well, and some people don't. Not everyone can, because then it wouldn't work, right?
Look, where were some of the first people that I know of who said he could win back in the day, right? Like
he's the ultimate American. Yeah. Anyone who doesn't see that doesn't get it.
That being said, is he that good, or like here's what I'm asking? He has failed at a lot of things. Yeah. Now, The Apprentice was a popular show. Don't get me wrong, and he had some things that were successful, but a lot of weird failures. Yeah, and you almost wonder: is he that good at the savvy, at the shit throwing, at this, or is he also being kept around to a certain point? I mean, is there a certain level of like he's kind of part of the system, not like of course he is.
Clearly, listen, he's clearly there. The system is multifaceted,
right?
He clearly has allies.
Yeah.
And there's clearly enemies.
Mm-hmm. Right.
People that love him, there's people that hate him.
Mm-hmm.
He is a political force like nothing we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't think any
yeah,
in recent memory.
Yeah.
You have to deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No matter where you are in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You have to deal with him. You have to deal with the movement that he's built. You have to deal with the way he's altered American politics. And you have to deal with the way he's changed media, the way he's changed the way you run for something, the way he's changed who could be considered a candidate, the way he's changed all of these things to sit on a toilet and then like tweet and then watch Morning Joe or CNN start reporting on the thing you just tweeted.
Right.
Is what anyone would get addicted to that. It becomes like such a. I did it with Louis the other night, and he said that he's like anyone would really get addicted to that.
Love that little name drop there. Love that little subtle name drop there. Hey, I had dinner with Louis C.K. I love that little subtle name drop. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Becomes like a, crazy thing, and he did that, and he understands spectacle. He understands.
I wish we'd have more episodes with Louis C.K. and Tim Dillon together. I know Louis C.K. isn't the biggest fan of podcasts. He doesn't seem to give a fuck too much, but I'd love to see more episodes with Tim and Louis C.K. kind of, trading observations and jokes and ha-has and shit. It'd be fucking amazing to see. Or a trio of like Tim Dillon, Louis C.K. and Bill Burr. That'd be fucking brilliant.
Reality TV. And
maybe even Rogan, if Rogan would be up for it. Imagine a roundtable of Tim Dillon, Louis C.K., Bill Burr, and Joe Rogan. That'd be fucking fantastic.
Understand social media. He knows what we
with Alex Jones as the fucking mediator
want.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone in recent memory has been able to alter. And I've said it before, but reality TV and social media are the two most potent cultural forces I've ever seen in my life because they've changed the way people have behaved.
Right.
You could also say, obviously, the smartphone, but I would say that's technological, right?
Yeah.
Reality TV wasn't a different technology. It was just a different type of show.
Sure.
And social media was is part of the smartphone, but those
this wouldn't have happened if you had to be on your fucking desktop or laptop.
When reality TV came around, people were okay with accepting kind of this manufactured reality and finding it entertaining, and people were okay with it, and they liked this drama and spectacle that was largely fake and organized and ultimately very shallow and meaningless, and it wasn't like, it wasn't like a dramatic arc that had any, value in the sense that it was not artistic or anything.
Right.
But there was an art to
even his show, The Apprentice, was kind of
there was an art to the way you could manipulate people into liking this, right? And there was an art to like the way you would do it. I'm just, I'm using that term loosely, but he understood all of that. He knew all of it, and you brought up a great point. He also knew it was fake because he said to the guy.
Well, it always sticks in my head. There's an episode I saw years ago where they were doing like hotel rooms. Like each team had to make a hotel room. And on the losing team, there was this guy who had said, like, look, I used to work in hotels. I know the business. And one thing we need to do, we need to get a really good toilet, a high-powered toilet, because, these things clog and it makes a problem and people become services. So it's a big nightmare. And so they ended up losing. And in the boardroom, they kind of throw him under the bus for that. And Trump goes, well, why'd you do that? With the Trump, I was experienced. I knew that. Yeah. But this is a fake thing.
Right.
You're stupid.
So he knew that it was fake, and then and I think when he started using social media with the Obama stuff and where was Obama born and the birth certificate and all that stuff, he understood immediately, because maybe not at that moment, but he understood immediately. Wow, there is such potential here to completely bypass the regular media, and go straight to people, and talk directly to people. And he probably started to realize that. No, he definitely started to realize that at that point. And it only grew. Yeah. And those sites, those apps only got more popular.
And Twitter was actually wasn't it like dying before the election? Like
it was starting to die, and politics saved it. Yeah. Politics has always kind of saved Twitter. It's a weird app in the sense that it's not a visual app. Right. It's not an app where regular people are like, "Hey, had a fun vacation." You're not really stunting on Twitter. You're not trying to show people how hot you are or how rich you are. It's an app that's driven primarily by politics and controversy. So it was perfect for him. But I think Miriam Adelson and all these people went to him when he was down and out and said, "We will," specifically her, but there's other people. And I think she said, "We will give you the money. I will give you the ability to run."
Yeah.
And I think he, then also the tech people got on board and they saw that the country, because they're looking at the data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're looking at the way things are and what's happening. And I think a lot of the tech people are going, there is a massive shift in this country, and it is going right, and it's going populist, and this guy is probably going to win it. We don't want to go to jail.
You know what's interesting? It just occurred to me. I mean, not that this is not completely unique, but so
great observations there from Tim, Dillon, and Ray Kump. I really do recommend you check it out. Good episode. But like I said before, Tim Dillon's Patreon in general, I think it's really worth it. He usually uploads it every week and stuff, so I really recommend you check it out. Tim Dillon's Patreon. Also check out my Patreon, because I'm good. Okay, Ray Barbosa special reaction dropping today, I promise, and everything else. So check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Agostino. It's only $1. My Patreon. My Patreon's only $1 Join it. Don't be fucking tight. Join my fucking Patreon. That'd be greatly appreciated. Actually, let me get my Patreon up here so you can see it. This is my Patreon right here. Actually, how do you see your Patreon as a normal person? Can I view it as a normal person? How do I do that? Can I view it? Can I view my Patreon like a normal person? I don't know if I can. But anyway, check out my Patreon. It's there as well. It's got some good shit. I recommend you check it out. It's fucking fantastic. Actually, maybe if I do this, maybe if I copy it into like a private browser, it'll give me the normal person page, so you can see what it looks like. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up everybody chilling out. Bring up my Patreon. Join my fucking Patreon. It's right there, as you can see. Patreon.com/Agostino. I upload all the time as well on there. Only $1. Only fucking $1. Okay? Only fucking $1. You see there? Look at those tiers. Look at those fucking tiers. $1, $4, $39. Not too bad, man. Not too bad. So check out my Patreon. Don't be tight. Don't be tight. Don't be tight.